humor and laughter are one of the greatest forms of communication you will ever have. It's the most primitive form of communication that we ever have. How many of you have ever been around a little baby? Yeah, some of you have young babies. And what is one of the first things we try to do? We try to get them to smile. And we try to get them to laugh. We make idiots out of ourselves. Trying to get the baby to laugh, and when the baby laughs, now we have a positive reinforcement and we make bigger idiots out of ourselves. And the baby learns, oh, if I do this, they do something pleasant back. And so now we've got communication going here. And at one point in time, I was taking my mom to a doctor's visit, and she wasn't talking anymore. And her affect had become rather flat, and I hadn't heard her laugh in a really long time. And we're sitting alone in the doctor's office, and all I heard was the silence in the room and the ticking of the clock in the background. We were the only two sitting there, and then out of nowhere, I heard a voice say, "Make me laugh." And my first inclination was to look and see, who said that? And then I realized, I looked at her, she's looking at me. It was my mom. And it only took me a nanosecond to remember a story that we used to tell every single time we would go out to eat. We used to drive to St. Louis 3 or 4 times a year to go shopping. And we would always go to the pasta house, and we would always have the pasta con broccoli, the house salad, the fried zucchini, a bottle of wine, and we would always tell this story. And I would tell it to you, but you would look at me like I was a crazy woman. And it was just one of those that was, you had to be there. But we would just laugh until we would practically wet our pants. And so I tell her this story, and I wish you could have been there, because all of a sudden her face begins to lighten up, and her eyes began to sparkle, and from up in her chest comes this noise, and out erupts these fits of laughter. And for about 2.5 minutes, we laughed and laughed and laughed, and then it passed. But during that moment, we had gotten to connect with the laughter. And so I encourage you, whether it's a child or a parent or a grandparent, to take that moment, make eye contact, and laugh, because you will have a connection like no other.